My name is Khakhalethu Gxiya, and I am an art student at Rhodes University currently, in my third year of a bachelor in fine art. So I think my artistic journey has been, I guess, unconventional as compared to some of the people I know here at the school. Some of them were doing art in high school, and then they continued to venture into art in tertiary. So for me, I kind of was pursuing science before I was pursuing fine art, because you have inherited dreams, I like to call it, from the people that you grew up around, and so I was pursuing science, but eventually I couldn't live without creating anymore. So yeah, I went back into creating. So in terms of people who inspire me, or where I kind of feel like I'm communicating with their work, it would have to be Jean-Michel Basquiat, as well as lesser known artists like Ruth Ige and Jennifer Packer. And yeah, I really enjoy these artists' work because they sort of inform the tangible and intangible in my work, because really I'm interested in abstracting the figure and abstracting representations of space as well, to some degree. My work is interested in spirit. It is an exploration of spirit, mainly by looking at different identities, identities that are separated in time and are separated by space, but continue to express themselves in a similar way, right? So this is the lens at which we're looking at spirit, right? These are the two artworks that are exploring that concept. And the first one is titled "Men I Trust," and it was a title I got from this alternative group. They make alternative music, and they're called Men I Trust. And from looking at the artwork, that's what came about. And the second one is the royal priesthood. It's inspired by this. It's a phrase that we encounter in the Bible, and the royal priesthood refers to a chosen generation. Oh, the concept of spirit is something that really speaks to me as a person who feels that they are spiritually inclined, especially in my faith. So the conversation around spirit is something that is very prevalent within my life, and I think that it's pertinent even in the experience that we have as human beings, because in as much as we have a tangible experience, we also have an intangible experience as well. And it felt necessary to begin to try and uncover the mysteries of spirit, and the significance of me looking at spirit through these figures that I feel represent me in a way, but also my kin, or those that would feel akin to me. We start to think about identity, or the representation of identity, or the reclaiming of identity. But in the process of doing that, we are shedding light on the spirit that links us together. believe identity permeates all of our lived experiences, because the experience you live impacts or influences your identity, or at least the expression of your identity or identity formation. And when working, I believe at some level, it's always, you can always find themes of identity, even if a certain artwork is not explicitly dealing with identity. But in my case, I am doing a work of representation, more so a representation of self, but opening up space for those who would feel that they identify in and of themselves. So identity is a big part of my work, is a big part of my representational practice. Although I don't claim that it's a practice of representation, however, it can be read that way, and I'm aware of that, and I welcome it. It's difficult to want to have or to predict what you want the audience to take away from your work. However, I see my practice as an interaction with God. So I would definitely like for people to be privy to that conversation in such a way that would, I guess, bring them to encounter God themselves, you know. However, at a more, I guess, grounded level, I think I just also want people to look at the figures that I represent in a different light, in a different way, because with people with who are dread-headed, you know, there's connotations, and people just who are, I guess, outside of the norm, they're always looked upon with a certain negative connotation, and I guess I'm hoping to redress that in a way, or to center these bodies in such a way that they would be commonplace, that they would also be accepted in a way, even with their differences. So I do want my work to have a reflective effect on people in such a way that they would look at it and it would invite them to pause and to reflect, to think. If they like what they think, if they don't like what they think, then that's not up to me. But yes, it's an invitation to have a conversation together.